Hello everyone, welcome back to The Funny Show, featuring me, funny boy, Saltydkdan. But you can just call me Salty or whatever, I really don't care. As long as you don't call me late for dinner, you fucking dick! Honestly, I'm super excited to make this video. You guys posed some pretty interesting and thought-provoking questions that I would have never thought about before now.
When will you make more Undertale comic dubs? The public wants to know.
Fuck this! No, we're not doing this. Okay, listen, I only did that once. No, wait, no, twice. I've only did that twice. Everybody makes mistakes. It's a part of maturing. And sure, that might have been literally 2 years ago, but I've matured a lot since then. Back then, my avatar used to be a little caricatured human version of myself, but now I'm white. Okay, now for some actual questions. @GablesMcGee asks, who are some of your favorite voice actors? Oh hey, an actual good question, and it's from my boy Gables. Some of my favorite voice actors are Richard Stephen Horvitz, the voice of Billy from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Invader Zim, as well as Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob. I've loved both of their work ever since I was a kid, and Tom Kenny was actually one of my first exposures to the voice acting medium. I hope to be as talented and recognizable as they are one day. @CharlestonVO asks, hi, do you like waffles? Okay, peace out, love you.
Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles. Do you like pancakes? Yeah, we like pancakes. Do you like French toast?
No. @RandomQuazy asks, how do you feel about the state of the abridged series subgenre? Okay, so if you're new to the channel, you may not know this, but I'm a pretty active member in the abridged community. I've voiced in a ton of different abridged series and even created some of my own. Why would you do this, Rio? Why?
And Akira, if you're watching this, you know why.
It's because I ate all your Oreos, isn't it?
You ate all my goddamn Oreos.
To answer this question though, I think the state of abridging as a medium is kind of in a really good place right now. Ever since Team 4 Star's abridging competition in 2016, there have been tons of new and awesome creators making abridged content online. Although I do feel like the concept of an abridged series is taken a little too seriously these days. Some people parade these silly anime parody videos as their lives work, and it's honestly kind of stupid. For God's sake, you're just editing Japanese anime footage. You aren't fucking Da Vinci. That all being said, I'm actually hoping to create some videos in the future on abridged content, and maybe even review some abridged series, as dumb as that may sound. You guys let me know if you'd be into that sort of thing. God knows, with the amount of abridgers that I know, I'm probably gonna end up burning a lot of bridges along the way. Tammy Marriott asks, what inspired you to create Salty? Smiley face. By Salty, I'm assuming that you mean my avatar, which is not my avatar. This is what I look like. This is my real body, and it's actually a pretty funny story. A while back, I was working on creating this web series called Battle Street. I won't go too deep into it, but every character in the series had the same basic design, that being a small, white little cartoon dude. My current avatar is an interpretation of myself within that style. Sadly though, I put Battle Street on hiatus due to me feeling unprepared to make it as good as I want it to be. I'm hoping that I can come back to the series one day when I'm a better writer and artist so that I can create the story that I would like to tell. In the meantime, I'm planning on making a bunch more videos and original content to bridge the gap. There's a lot of cool stuff in the works that I can't talk about, so stay tuned. @SpideyDoesTweet asks 2 questions. 1. Do your friends really act like they do in your videos? Or do they just do that for la camera? And 2, how did you come up with your username? On the topic of my friends, yes, they actually do act like psychopaths both on and off camera. Although obviously when they are on camera, they tend to dial up the crazy like 10 notches. I love those stupid idiots, they're great. Also, when it comes to my username, I actually created it back when I first got an Xbox 360. All my friends had such cool and interesting usernames, so I wanted to join in on the trend. To create mine, I combined 3 different things about myself. Salty, because I like salty foods, DK, because those were my initials, and Dan, which is the name of a character that I created when I was 5 years old. I'd love to get into who the character of Dan even is, but honestly, I could probably talk a whole video about the various comics I made with him when I was a kid. I'm sure that I'll make a video about it at some point in the future, since it was kind of my entry point to making comics and drawing characters. But screw that, that video is probably gonna be long and hard to make. @Ocean asks, are you left-handed? Nope, I'm actually right-handed. That's it. That's all. That's the answer to the question. At For Storch asks, what is one of your favorite video games? If you play them. Of course I play video games. What do you think? I'm some sort of narc? It's kind of hard to pinpoint my favorite game of all time, but I can list off a couple. So here they are in no particular order. Salty's top 3 video games of all time. Number 3, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. This game has so much personality, and it's one of the very first Mario games that I could get invested in plot-wise. It's the game that made me actually care about Mario characters with its rich story and atmosphere. The RPG mechanics are also super cool and interesting, and provide gameplay that I've never experienced outside of this game series to date. Number 2, Sonic Adventure 2. Now sure, this game might not be good by today's standards, and sure, the only real good stages are the ones where you can play as Sonic and Shadow, and sure, the overall setup of the game's story and layout of the levels leaves a lot to be desired, but I like it anyway. For God's sakes, I even enjoy the treasure hunt and mecha levels that everyone hates. Also, Chow Garden. Chow Garden! Number 1, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I could go on for hours about why I like this game so much. I love Majora's Mask. From the time traveling, to the various masks and abilities you can collect, to just the overall atmosphere and explorable world, it's just overall pretty fantastic. Except the dungeons, that shit's fucking hard, and I don't like it, but everything else, pretty damn cool. Also, the moon looks like a rejected Rage Comics face. That's pretty great. At Josh Avocado asks, who is your favorite JoJo, and which is your favorite part? Here at Saltydkdan, we only have good opinions. And my opinion is that Josuke is the best JoJo, and that Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable is the best JoJo part. And hey, while we're on this topic, at Ballast McGee asks, what's your favorite Diamond is Unbreakable stand? My favorite stand in Diamond is Unbreakable has to be Killer Queen. Overall, it just has a really good design, and its power of turning everyday objects into bombs is freaking cool. So in summary, Josuke is the best JoJo, Diamond is Unbreakable is the best JoJo part, and Killer Queen is the greatest Diamond is Unbreakable stand. At Bridgebrain asks, what are your inspirations that got you into abridging? Like most people in the community, I was initially inspired by Little Karibo and Team 4-Star. Then later on, I discovered Eagle 8 Burger's videos, specifically his parodies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman.
Hey, isn't he missing something? Dick!
Go the fuck home, Timmy! Nobody likes you! I hope you get touched by your uncle!
Even though these videos were the things that probably corrupted my sense of humor permanently, they still inspired me to finally start making my own abridged content. Eagle, if you're watching this, thank you for permanently ruining my life. Love you. At Blue Blando asks, favorite movie? It's gotta be Napoleon Dynamite. I can still watch that movie and laugh my ass off to this very day. If you haven't watched it, go watch it right now. It's the best. It's so damn good. At Nick Maybe asks, regular show versus Ed, and Eddy. Well, that's not really a question, Nick, but I'll try to answer anyway. I guess I'd have to say Ed, and Eddy. I'm just more attached to the characters and the comedy, plus the animation's a lot more expressive than regular show. Also, Ed, and Eddy sound effects are a meme now, so that's great. Another awesome thing about my childhood to be ruined by the masses. At Perry Porkchop asks, favorite comic book superhero? It can be from any company. Heck yeah, I got a favorite comic book superhero, and guess what? It's super generic. Can you guess it? Yep. Deadpool. No, fuck that shit. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's the best, dude. He's living a double life. Spider-Man was the original Hannah Montana. He got the best of both worlds. He gets to be a normal ass kid going to high school, and then he gets to be the Spider-Man, man of spiders, swinging around New York City like it ain't nobody's business. At Your Daily Dose 18 asks, do you love me? Yes. At Young Cheeseburger asks, who inspired you to do voice acting? Well, I wouldn't say it was a person, but more like a collection of a lot of different things. Although only one case really comes to mind when I think about it. Okay, so bear with me here, this is gonna sound really freaking stupid. When I was super young, around let's say 4 or 5 years old, so I can justify me thinking this, I thought that cartoon characters were like real things that existed in real life. Like, I could just go to Hollywood and Bugs Bunny would walk right past me. I'd be like, oh, hey, Bugs Bunny. The thing I usually point to being the cause of this belief was the fact that I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit when I was like 3. So that film very much confused me. When I finally realized that characters like Homer Simpson and SpongeBob were played by real people, I immediately knew what I wanted to do when I got older. Become a voice actor. You may ask, how's the voice acting thing doing for you, Salty? I've been auditioning for professional projects for about 5 years and I haven't gotten hired for anything. I love my life. At Cynical Syrup asks,
When's the Minecraft Let's Play channel?
you joke, but I already made one. At Crown the Romance asks, what series will you continue? I love the JoJo content, but you and your friends are hilarious. Since many of you guys are new to my channel, I'll explain. You see, my YouTube channel used to almost be exclusively based around the series JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, although recently I've kind of been trying to break out of it. If I'm going to be completely honest, the JoJo series has kind of exhausted me, so I'm not planning on making any new JoJo related content anytime soon. I feel that for the longest time, doing just JoJo content has limited me creatively, and it just hasn't been as fun as it used to be. So I hope that you all understand. And if you're mad at me or just don't care, feel free to unsubscribe. That's totally fine. At the very least though, I am planning on making 1 or 2 more episodes of the JoJo Part 6 fandom to, at the very least, finish up Volume 1 of that part's story. On the topic of other content though, series like A Day in My Life will continue, as well as scripted videos and abridged/voice acting content. Also memes. A lot of memes. Speaking of memes, at ZZColby27 asks, least favorite meme? Okay, so my least favorite meme is the Screaming Cowboys. I don't get the joke. I don't find it funny at all. I don't understand. What's so funny about it? Do people laugh at the fact that it's cowboys screaming or like what? At Mr. Cake Dragon Man asks, best music to listen to when you feel like fucking shit? First off, language. Second off, my favorite song when I feel horrible is Drops of Jupiter by Train. The song itself is super important to me personally for a lot of reasons, but overall it's just a really good song to like sob to. And if you're super talented like I am, you can get the dry heaves between cries to actually match up with the tempo of the song. And finally, at Perplexed Cam asks, can you please end my life? Sure! And that's all the questions for this video. My apologies if your question didn't make it in. A lot of you sent some really great ones, and it was kind of hard to pick which ones to do for this video. I'm planning to do a Q&A special for pretty much every subscriber milestone, so look forward to that BS when it happens. But hey, thanks for watching the video. I'll talk to you guys later. You see, that's what YouTubers say, but like, you know, I'm not actually talking to you guys. I'm more so just sitting in my recording booth, recording with a mic and just talking into the mic and then editing that into a video that you guys watch. So I'm not actually talking to you. I'm sorry if that was a little bit confusing.